What is fear? Fear is a deeper dimension of worry. Worry can cause ulcers. Fear, on the other hand, can even destroy life. However, unlike worry, without which life is possible, fear seems woven into our lives. It is possible to face fear without fear. A person who we call courageous is not one without fear, but one who has learned to face fear without fear. Fear is a form of energy inside us. That is why it cannot be destroyed. Energy can neither be created nor destroyed. It can only be changed from one form to another. Understand, your fear is directly connected to your life energy. Whenever you are facing a survival threat, you will see your fear rising and the adrenaline release happening in your body. That adrenaline release gives you so much energy that you can almost fly. We call it the fight or flight response. Either you face the fear and fight, or you run away. There will be so much energy in your body the moment you face a survival threat. Whenever that threat is real, the Swadhisthana chakra, the seat of life, gets completely shaken. Big bang and black hole inside you. When there is pure desire or pure greed in you without any object in particular, it becomes the overflowing energy of creation, expansion, or Big Bang. For no reason, you simply explode with energy. In the same way, when there is pure fear in you without any object in particular, it becomes contraction, black hole. Fear is your nature, but don't direct it towards any object. Having fear is natural, but connecting the fear to an object is societal. Pure fear helps in survival, and it is spontaneous. Enormous energy radiating from you for no reason is pure greed. If it is because of an object, it becomes ordinary greed. In the same way, energy settling back within you for no reason is pure fear. If it is because of an object, it becomes ordinary fear. Unless the black hole happens, the Big Bang cannot happen. It is part of life, part of the drama, part of the game. Pure fear means you are relaxing into yourself, settling inside you. That is what we call destruction. The birth of this cosmos is the Big Bang, and death is the black hole. Birth of your being is Big Bang for you. Death of your being is black hole for you. The inhaling breath is pure desire. The exhaling breath is pure fear. Prana, the life energy that enters along with the air, goes into you because of the Big Bang. Prana leaving your system with the outgoing air is the black hole. When you resist or fight with the Big Bang or black hole, you create disturbance in your system. When fear happens, when the black hole happens, it means that you are turning towards peace or getting ready for the Big Bang. Whenever pure fear happens, you become rejuvenated with a tremendous relaxation, which surges as courage and energy in you. Whenever you are afraid of losing something that you have, or you fear you cannot achieve something that you want to have, there is a fight going on between your potentiality and your negative approach to the future. If you are sure there is no possibility of achieving something, that you don't have the potentiality, you will not have fear. If you are sure that you can achieve something, then also, you don't have fear. Fear is the fight between faith and belief in oneself on one hand, versus the negative idea or expectation you have about your future on the other hand. You are literally fighting with your own positive and negative energies. If you are very sure you don't have the potentiality that you can't achieve, then you won't have fear. If you are very confident you are going to achieve, then also you won't have fear. However, if there is something you want to achieve, but you are not sure that you can achieve it, then you will have fear. The fight between these two ideas, the dilemma, is what we call fear. You see, you are not afraid that you will never become the king of the universe. You could never become that. But you are afraid that you will not become successful like your brother. You are afraid that you will not become or achieve that which is within your reach. Possibility creates fear. It means fear is the root of life. Are you afraid that you can't live on the planet Earth for more than 300 years? No, because you know for sure you could never live that long anyway. But you are always afraid that you may not live for more than 70 or 80 years, that you may have a premature death. Anything you are clear is impossible for you to achieve will not create fear in you. Anything that you think is possible and that you want creates fear. There are two ways to escape fear. One way is to block all possibility. This means you can die, then there won't be any more fear. The second way to escape fear is to break the boundary of possibilities. If there is infinite possibility, if there is no boundary, if there is nothing that limits you, then you become fearless. Either nothing is possible, so you won't have fear because there is nothing to be taken away from you, or everything is possible, so you won't have fear because you feel all-powerful. Just by having this understanding, something will click in you, and so many fears will disappear from your being. These two possibilities are actually used as techniques by masters. When masters say, "Nothing can be done by you," it is to create that deep surrender, a psychological death. You decide that there is no more possibility, nothing else can be done except relaxing. This is what Ramana Maharishi calls Atma Sharanagati, or self-surrender. You can go beyond fear in this way also, by closing all possibilities. The second way to go beyond fear is by opening all possibilities. It is called Atma Gnana, or self-realization. There is a beautiful story. One person wrote on the wall of a temple where the teachings are written, "Soham. I am that," it means, "Everything is possible by me." Another person came and wrote, "Dasuam. Nothing can be done by me. I am a slave again, that is also okay." A third person came and wrote, "Sadasuham. Always I am that." You can surrender yourself when you feel nothing can be done. You can experience your power when you feel everything can be done. Both techniques can liberate you from fear. If you are in tune with the idea, "Nothing can be done by me," you are a bhakti yogi, you surrender. If you think, "Everything can be done by me," you are a jnana yogi, you explore and experience. Whether you work in this path or in that path, going beyond fear is possible. But you should be completely connected to one ideology or the other. Either you should be ready to work with "everything is possible for me," or you should be ready to work with "nothing is possible for me." Increased possibility for enlightenment. People come and say to me, "I have too many fears. What can I do?" I tell them, if you have too many fears, the possibility for enlightenment is more. So many doors are available to you. For a person who doesn't have too many fears, the number of doors is also fewer because he leads a dull life. A person who leads a dull life will not have much fear. He has nothing much to lose, nothing much to decide. He is not taking many risks. But a living being who is doing many things and making many decisions will experience fear. If you are experiencing too much fear, then so many doors are available for your enlightenment. One more thing. Only if you can open it can it be called a door. If you don't know how to open it, then it is more like a wall. If you are experiencing too many fears in your life, and if you know the right technique, all those fears can become doors, and you can be liberated. Otherwise, all the fears are like walls, and it is as if you are caught in a big prison. All you need to do is, every time you feel fear, do not disrespect yourself. Do not lose confidence or condemn yourself thinking, "What kind of a being am I?" Actually, people who can face their fears do not have so many problems. People who are afraid of their fears create more problems for themselves. When you brood too much about your fears, you start thinking you have problems. If you understand the true nature of fear, it can be considered a blessing. If you are courageous enough to face the fear, it can lead you to liberation. Sometimes, just by switching your attention to something else, you can come out of fear. But that is not fearlessness. Fearlessness means taking a quantum jump into the consciousness where you will never experience fear of losing anything. The fears that you have about your life, be it fear of failure, fear of losing your near and dear ones, fear of losing your wealth, fear of the unknown. Every fear can be used as a door to enlightenment. Either you are filled with tension or you are filled with energy. If you are filled with tension, you are trying to take energy by force from the source within you that does not die, without knowing the technique. There is a source of energy within you that never dies, your Atman or self. If you try to take energy by force from this source without knowing the right technique, it creates tension. Whenever you try to create energy in you by remembering some desire or fantasy, it is like trying to kick the door in and take the energy from the other side. You want the energy, but you don't have the patience to open the door. You can use the key to patiently open the door and allow that bliss and energy to come into your being. That key is called meditation. Another important truth you should know: there is something within you that never dies, which is your source of energy. There is also something within you that dies, something that is actually never alive, even now. The fear of death exists in you because you think there is something you have now that will be taken away from you. No, anything that you have now cannot be taken away. Anything that can be taken away, you never had in the first place. Anything that can die can never occupy your inner space. Fearlessness is courage to face fear. You cannot conquer fear. Fearlessness means intelligence to live the intense fear without directing it towards any object. When there is no object to be afraid of, the intense fear will give such an intense relaxation and peace. Fear is a powerful energy which gives a deep relaxation, a deep centeredness. The fear center is the rejuvenation center. Fearlessness is not suppressing fear. For example, when you are afraid to cross a dark area in the night, you start thinking of and repeating God's name. Because of fear, God's name will be topmost in your mind. You feel that you don't have fear because your inner chatter is engaged in something else. When you engage your inner chatter in something else, you feel that you are out of fear. But you have only diverted your attention. You haven't solved the problem completely. There is a saying: when a cat drinks milk, it will close its eyes tight and think that the whole world has become dark, and therefore, nobody can see it. Understand, you also do the same thing when you don't pay attention to the fear, and then believe that the fear has disappeared. Fearlessness does not mean non-existence of fear. It means the fear is there, but you have tremendous energy or courage to live with it and face it. Fearlessness means having the energy or the courage to live even with the maximum fear. It is going beyond that fear and being neither attached to nor detached from the fear. One more important thing you should know is fear is part of the nature of life. People come and ask me, what should I do about my fear of the unknown? I tell them, fear is a good sign. It means you are alive. There is a possibility of losing something, and that is why you are afraid. If you don't have any possibility of loss, you will never be afraid. You can be fearless if you are already in your grave. Then there is no need to be afraid of anything because you have nothing to lose. If you have something to lose, you will have fear. That is the nature of life itself. Fear does not exist when things are definite and known. Fear exists only when things are not definite, when they are mere possibilities and unknown in that sense. For example, death is a possibility. As an incident, it is definite, but when and how it might happen is not clear. So there is always fear associated with it. Fear of darkness. Your fear of darkness and fear of death are actually the same. Fear of the unknown. Connecting with the darkness will remove this fear. Your fear of death, the fear of disappearing, will be completely healed. I am reminded of a joke. Once a little girl was asking her father, "Daddy, are you afraid of darkness?" The father replied, "Of course not." The girl continued, "Then are you afraid of snakes?" The father replied, "No, not at all." The little girl was very happy that she had discovered something new. She said, "Oh, so Daddy, you are not afraid of anything other than Mommy. Anyway, understand your fear of darkness is because of your ignorance, because you have not faced it clearly." In Tantra, the first instruction that disciples are given to do for healing the inner self is to go and sit in a forest or empty space and gaze at the emptiness. All that the person has to do is to sit in the emptiness of the vast open sky, and one has to gaze at the sky the whole night. So many different fears and moods will come up. Whatever one has suppressed will come up. In Zen tradition, they have a similar practice where the person is asked to sit facing a wall and gaze at the wall. The mind becomes empty and one with the emptiness outside. One important thing to remember when you do this is that if you have suppressed your need for rest, that suppression that has become restlessness in you, and your desire to relax into silence, will also come up. It is like the whole system is getting cleaned. That opening up of your suppressed emotions is what you feel as fear. You feel, no, no, I don't want to look into this darkness. You try to avoid it. If you can just look into the darkness and the fear with awareness, you will live through it and get over it. Wisdom through fear. If a child is afraid of the dark, we say, don't be afraid, you should be brave. When you say this, you are teaching the child that the fear he is feeling should not be felt. But the child cannot do anything if the fear arises in him. So now he tries to force himself to feel brave by suppressing the fear. This is how the child learns to suppress the natural emotion of fear. His body is trembling with fear, but he resists the fear in order to prove he is brave. Instead, if you allow the child to accept the fear and explore the darkness that is causing him fear, the child will go through the darkness and the fear completely. The fear will automatically drop from him because his own experience would have shown him that the fear has no solid existence. Fear of losing identity. The biggest fear human beings have is the fear of losing their identity. Even the fear of losing one's life is not as great as the fear of losing the identity. The fear of losing your identity is much worse than the fear of death.